This is the Spotlight segment. Stay tuned for premium interviews, device unboxing and more.
We now move on to our Spotlight segment, and today we're spotlighting on Light on Devs and especially focusing on the Telegram client. And I'm so proud to announce that this is the very first accessible Telegram client, and we're talking about telilite. We have our guest here from Light on Devs, and we do want to welcome you. Sally, would you want to welcome him because you've known him longer than any of us has? And so let me cede that to you to welcome our guest.
I would like to say welcome the developer from Light on Devs, developing Telegram, the first and the most accessible Telegram client for Android. So welcome aboard. How are you?
Thank you, Saleh. We've been meeting each other actually virtually during the podcast that Saleh and their friends had, and I'm really glad that you invited me here also to talk about telilite and other projects that Light on Devs have and may have in the future. Thanks.
So before we start, I would like to say that Light on Devs, the guys from Light on Devs are giving away 1 month free subscription for whoever install our app Accessible Android. So just go ahead on Google Play Store, install Accessible Android, and find the post that says get 1 month free for telilite and fill the form and you will get your redemption code. And over to you, Warren.
Thank you so much for that nice gesture from you there, you guys from Light on Devs. We're so thankful that you actually giving our people or our listeners a free trial, 1 month free. So guys, if you want to try this before you subscribe to it, this is your opportunity. And we're so thankful to you guys for doing this. Let's go ahead now. I have a burning question, and probably being the historian, I always like, historical background. So go ahead and tell us what led you guys to developing telilite in the first place. Were you not satisfied with what was going on out there? Because you guys have been in the field for quite a while now. And so take us down that history memory lane as to what led you to developing telilite.
Thank you. So just to mention where it all started, it was 2018, yes, I guess. And back then, the Telegram app, the official client, was not accessible at all. Even the menus, even a small part of the name, even the app's name itself, I guess it was not read by the talkback. So we were approached by a group of users, a group of visually impaired users. Actually, they were based on internet. I mean, we were approached virtually and by some local ones also. And we found out that there are many users around the globe that they suffer this problem, that the Telegram client is not accessible at all. So we found petitions that were written to the door of the CEO of the Telegram from users coming from Spain, Germany, Iraq, a lot of places, Ukraine, Russia, a lot of places in the world. So we saw that it's really a big deal, a big problem, affecting many users, and we also saw some business opportunities in this. So we started the development. It was just 3 or 4 months before we could announce that we have reached the technology, the design and process needed to make the app accessible, make it completely accessible. We were just giving away demos, not installable demos, just audio demos of the parts of the app that were working. We were doing it for one demo a week or one demo per 2 weeks, like this. And after 3 to 4 months, we started implementing. We started gathering all the parts together, and within 2 months, I guess, we made the first installable demo ready, and that was it. It was published. At first, it was published outside of Google Play Store or any Android stores because users had many problems. Users had many problems with doing the payments. There were captchas all over the Android market, so they were kind of it was a kind of easy for them to do the payments. Also, some users did not have access to payment methods for Google Play in their country. Especially, I remember that India, they were really impressed. They were really they really wanted to install and use the app, and even they were even ready to buy the app, but back then it was not the payment methods. The payment methods were not that good in India, so it was published outside by giving the official APK in our website, doing updates that way, the similar way. I mean, it was nearly 1 year ago that we decided to move to Google Play Store because the payment methods accessibility were they were made better for users in parts of the world. That's the whole story in a compact form.
Thank you so much. Now, let's talk about some of the features that make this actually stand out apart from the official Telegram client. What are some of the benefits that one gets when they install Telilite?
Okay, so at first in 2018, we were just focusing on making the app making the app itself accessible, the Telegram itself accessible, because it was not accessible at all. But by a few months, we realized that users are expecting more from Telilite. But let me tell you this one, that even now that we are speaking, making all parts of the Telegram accessible is a challenge. It's still a challenge because Telegram, they're adding features, especially these days, these months, they're adding features more than any time. So there are always some parts, some UI elements, some workflows, some labels that have remained that have not made accessible by the Telegram team. So we are so one of our main focuses still in 2023 is to make all the details of the app accessible. So it's still a value provided for users who want to have all the details, all small parts of their app accessible. Other things that we've done, we have created. We have created an alternative form of design for reading text, for reading menus, and by that I mean we have we have made some polls for users, and we understood that they're not uh, they're not very satisfied with the way that Telegram works regarding uh, swiping the messages and reading them, because the way that Telegram does this is just like WhatsApp. They make the part, they break down the message to many separate parts, and you should swipe on all of them. But we found that it makes it harder for users to do quick swiping, to be fast in the application and to navigate fastly. So we came with a novel kind of design that we make all of the message, the whole message one swipe. You can by swiping you can move between a message to another one, but you have also options in your long press menu to access the specific parts of that message, which may be interesting for you. You may want to click on them. You may want to copy them. For example, in a message, you have mentions, you have links, you have buttons for polls. If the message type is poll, you have buttons for bots. You have many types of messages that may have specific parts that should be clicked separately. We have made them accessible in of a long press menu. Another a notable feature we made was kind of again a kind of an alternative design that let the users to decide which parts of the message and in which sequential form should be read by the talkback. I mean, in which order? I mean, because again, if you think of the Telegram's official design, the message are separated to many parts, and they are read just by the order they're shown on the screen. We realize that users sometimes don't want to they may don't want to mm, uh, read the date of the message, read the subject of the message. They may be interested in the body of the textual body of the message alone. So we made this. So we made two menus, which is customized messages and customized chats. The same problem exists for the list of the chats. In the main page, you see the list of the channels, groups, and private chats you have. You may, if you navigate through the official Telegram app, it will read all the details of each chat for you, each chat element in the list for you. The users may not be interested in all of them. For example, they may not be interested in the last time, on the time that the last message was sent on that chat. So by these two menus, we separated all these parts, although the text message is read in a whole by TalkBack, but we let the users, in these menus, we let the users to choose which part they want TalkBack to read. They can turn it on or off, and they can change the order. For example, they want the date to be read at first or last. We have implemented professional microphone. They can do some triggering to their voice when recording voices. We have implemented professional audio controls. They can more precisely. They can choose how fast they want text, or they want the music or the voice to be fast forwarded or to be fast backwarded. So they can choose by more options how much they want the music or audio to be skipped. And that's it. We have increased the number of accounts they want to have. They can have on the Telegram. It's now 3 in the original client. It may have an increase to 4 or 5. I don't know exactly now, but we let the users to have up to 10 accounts on one client, and that's it. The list, it's so much. I just try to
Yeah, I understand.
introduce the top ones for you.
Yeah, there's one thing that though always bugs me with Telegram, and I'm not sure if you guys have addressed this problem, and that has to do with granular reading of a message. For example, let's say Austin sent me a message, and I have read it, and I want to read that message maybe word by word or line by line. With the official Telegram client, I cannot do that. Is that a possibility with Telilite or not?
As I remember, yes, it should be. It's one of the features I implemented myself, as I remember. Actually, it should be a feature present in all the text in the Android OS. So you should have all these. I mean, it's an OS level control that you should have to. Uh, you should have the possibility to choose between reading by lines or reading by words, and they were, for some reason, they were became inaccessible in the official Telegram. So we made them accessible again. Uh, yes, that is present, if I'm not mistaken. You should check it yourself, and we will check it ourselves also. And if you find any, because they are spread in all parts of the program, and we should just make them accessible one by one. So if the users find any place that the possibility is not there, they can just comment us, and we will fix it in the next updates.
And I will let my other co-hosts ask, but how about secret chat? Because John and I were trying to do a secret chat on the official Telegram client. And John, you remember that thing worked? I don't think it worked. Did it work?
It did not work on. We tried Nicogram, and that's where we got it to work, but it did not work for us in the official Telegram client.
That's right.
I ask you to try it on Telilite because we have tried and it was working okay on our side. We are not. Let me say this: we are not just throwing some updates, throwing some features, and doing some modifications and making an update. Each update is going through a, 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 a very large amount of a high number of people. Actually, for example, let me say the exact number. In our group, yes, we have exactly 10 people testing the application in the inside level when it's still developing. So after that, we have 2 release channels, a beta channel, and actually we have yes, we have 2 channels, a beta channel and a production channel. The beta channel is for all users. They can join it. They can test the beta version of the application. So at first we implement the features. We implement. We fix the bugs we find in each version. Then we test it internally. Like 4 or 5 people we tested internally and thoroughly. We with as much as precision we can. Then we give it to our testers group, internal testers group, around 10 people. They just dig every part of the application, every detail. They do secret chats, they do video chats, they do the voice calls, video calls, any kind of feature that may not even be useful for visually impaired persons, but we want all parts of the application to function correctly. Then it goes to our beta channel, and all users who have joined it can test it and report bugs. And then after its list, 2 weeks to 1 month that it has been tested by the public, it goes to our production channel, which is the stable channel. So yeah, I can I can guarantee that all parts are being tested in different levels and for many times before reaching the production level. But again, some bugs may remain. That's where the users can, even the production users who do not dare to join the beta one, they can report it, and we will sure fix it in the next version.
John here. I had a comment for you and a question. First, I wanted to say I'm glad you mentioned earlier how you can adjust what is read in each message depending on what you want to hear, and how it's by default set one swipe between messages. Because the question we get a lot, and especially from users that are coming from iOS, is they don't necessarily understand at first when they're swiping through groups that there's a node for the message, and then following that there's a node that's a snippet of a reply. So they think they're jumping all over the conversation, and they think their messages are being cut off when it's just reading that snippet part. So I think it's great that by default you have all that in one swipe. I think it makes it a lot less confusing for new users. So I'm glad you're doing that. And then the question I had for you is, I wanted to know if you guys are supporting topics in groups yet, because that's something Telegram has implemented recently, and they didn't do a great job on it, in my opinion. I mean, it's usable, but I wouldn't call it accessible because it's a little confusing and there's a couple of unlabeled buttons and stuff. So I'm just curious if you guys have gotten topics to work in groups, or if that's something you're currently working on.
Okay, so at first, thank you for admiring the features of swiping with swiping the message with one swipe, because it's it's kind of a logical issue. I completely get what you mean, because when you break down the message and swipe by parts, it's clear that each message does not have a constant number of parts, so the number of parts are dynamic, and the user may get lost and may think that he's swiping other messages while he's actually in the same message. Yeah, it was designed from the first version that we released back in 2018. Still remains the same. We've been under a lot of pressure to change it to the default Telegram design, but it was not the thing that users wanted, so we kept it this way. About the topics, yes, it was introduced. I wish I had the exact numbers of the versions and exact names of the versions so I could tell you. It was just 2 versions ago, I think, 2 or 3 versions ago, that Telegram introduced these topics, and it was at first version it was completely inaccessible. We were not ready to move to the then Telegram released another version which was to some degree accessible to some degrees, but we were not ready to move our production channel to that version. So we just borrowed those features, those source codes that were making the topics accessible, and brought them to our base source code, our current source code, and made the topics accessible. But it was also 1 or 2 versions ago for us. So right now, as we are speaking, our production level has reached the version which Telegram made topics accessible as much as they are pleased with. And we also have made other accessibility corrections to that part. I remember. I should find the exact notes to tell you which parts we have made accessible extra to the Telegram But yes, we have worked on that, and the basic functionality is there. You can use it. One crucial part was still inaccessible, and we made it accessible. It should be in our notes. Users can reach to our Google Play page and look through the changelog. They will find it there.
All right, sounds good. Thanks.
So I have questions. The first thing is, I had bought a subscription of the app. I think 2019 or maybe before 2020. That time the app was not in the Play Store, and in India we had to buy the subscription from sellers. It was for about $3 to $4 that time. So I still have the license key. So now that the app is on the Play Store, what do I need to do, or do I need to re-purchase the subscription? My other question is, does Telilite have a app for Windows desktops? Because always when I call Warren or mostly someone on Telegram, and the screensaver comes, if I close the screen of the laptop, the voice just disappears.
So about your first question, yes, when we were selling the application outside of Google Play, we had resellers. We had a reseller program, and we had resellers in different countries, especially in India. So we have not revoked any of those licenses that we've sold before Google Play. They're all steered there because we have sold them with such that they will be permanent licenses. But we had a minimum guarantee time on how long we will update the application. And as I remember, in our last update, the number was 10 months, I guess. So after 10 months, we quitted updating the app, but the license should work as long as the version of the client you have is working with Telegram servers. The problem is that the Telegram itself is it's abandoning, it's just discouraging users to use the old versions, and in some point it's completely disables their functionality. So I guess all old versions that we were our last source code was based on, I guess they are now all out of functioning. But if you find some version that's working, you can use the license with that. For going on with the Google Play version, you have to subscribe to the Google Play, and unfortunately, nothing is transferable here because of the mechanism that the Google Play works. But anyways, no licenses would have even remained to transfer because we just did the 10-month guarantee that we promised for our last version. I guess it was like 1.5 year after that, after our last version outside of Google Play, that we moved onto Google Play. So all the buyers' guarantee time should have expired by the time. And your second question, I could not exactly understand it. Are you talking about the TalkBack on Windows platform? I mean the Telilite.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Telilite app on Windows. Is there such an app?
We have not made such an app, but there's something I'm not sure if it will help. I've not looked into it myself deeply. The Google has it has made the Play Store available on their Chromebooks, on their Chromebook laptops, and it's in newsletters that it sends to developers and such. It's promoting that it will be do this. It will do the same thing to Windows platform. I guess right now we have something available there for some of the apps. I'm not sure. I've not looked into it, but there's some opportunities in now or maybe in the future that you can use the same Android version, the same Android version of your on your Windows laptop. But for developing the native application on Windows, we have no such program yet because of a whole team, even the parts that are working on the cited applications or games, all of them are currently focused on the mobile platforms.
So I have a few questions. The first one is about reactions. You know that in Telegram, the official client, if you hit the expand button when you are selecting reactions, all the reactions will not be accessible until the user chooses one. So is this accessible in the telilite? This is my first question. The second one is related to subscription plans. What are the subscription plans, the prices and stuff? And my last question is about support. There's a problem in the applications which are specific to blind people that usually features take time to be implemented. So this is compared to mainstream applications. Is this available or you are doing like trying to be releasing features on time so people don't wait for years before a feature will be implemented? Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, I got all the questions, but I'm kind of forgetting them. The first one was about
Reactions.
yes, reactions.
Are they accessible? Yes.
Correct. Yes. Okay, so about the reactions, there are some points that you should care for when you are speaking about the reactions. Reactions are not all the reactions are not available anywhere. That's a limitation by Telegram. But actually, the possibility that Telegram has made for the admins of the channels or groups to limit the set of reactions which user can use on the posts. So that may be the reason you do not see some of the reactions. But for example, let's suppose that we have 20 number of reactions available to users, and if you, in this case, if you look at the visual layout of the application of the official Telegram, because not all of the reactions will not all of them could be shown on the screen at once. Not all of the 20 or 30 or whatever. So it's kind of a vertical scrolling menu, not menu, a vertical scrolling layout that you should scroll vertically to reach other reactions. That's so it should be available by swiping. I mean, by swiping, it should auto scroll if the talkback is working correctly. We have made a new menu which shows you all the reactions. You have access to that. Your second question about subscriptions, about I as much as I know, you are asking about the prices, yes? How
Yes,
much
exactly.
it is, or so the of a pricing policy is that it is it follows the general rules that all the subscription apps on Google Play follow, meaning that the price is kind of same in all parts of the world. So it is between something between the different. I mean, the differences are so much that you can just ignore them. The price is somewhere between 1.5 to 2 US dollars a month, depending on where you are buying these the subscription, because the taxing stuff, the exchange rates, they are all different, and there's nothing we can do about it. So with little differences, it's in this range of the price that I told you, but exception in some countries, because of their economy, they cannot. It's not that we are giving some kind of discount for them, but because of the because it's for the sake of the business. It's for the sake of the business model, because of their the type of economy they have, and by economy I mean the proportion between the U.S. dollar and their own native currency, local currency. They are not able to pay these prices. Actually, no one prices their applications like that in those countries. For example, Turkey is an example of that, and some other countries. If you see it, all the applications, all games on Google Play, even the subscription to Telegram Premium is like this. All the games on the Steam platform, even on other platforms, it's like that. They made some exceptions for some countries, for example, Turkey, and not by so much, but they price a little bit different, maybe by 20-30% less than other parts. That's our whole pricing policy. And your third question, I
Is there an annual subscription or just monthly?
It's just monthly. We are planning to add the annual one because the users have requested so much, but it requires some technical investigations. We have some both technicalness and business requirements to be able to implement this. So it may take some time, but we are just moving towards it.
And about the support, yeah, I know that currently it's developing. It's in active development. But what was the case before and after that? Because it's a paid subscription actually.
Yeah. About support, it's the Telegram was the telilite was in active development since 2018. We have not stopped or even paused the development for a long time. But the thing is that the features, especially now that we are on Google Play platform, it's as I said, it's subscription based. We are more we should be more dedicated in providing the latest version for the users because they're paying the subscription fees. We are already doing this. I can guarantee you that we are already doing this. But the thing is that code base for the official Telegram app is so big. It's a lot of code actually. It's just literally it's near one gigabyte of only data, 1 gigabyte of only code, not even considering the images or the built libraries or so on. It's nearly 1 gigabyte of just code, just literally just written code. So the the code base is so large, the functionalities are so diverse, the details are so much that it is surely a difficult task to maintain this code base for the Telegram itself. Despite their very larger team, they have a larger team than us. They have more experience and such. So managing that, and we have made a lot of changes to that code. In nearly 5 years, we have made a lot of changes to that code. So maintaining all of that, and in the updates, if when a new code, when new commits for the code are pushed to GitHub, and you get them, you see that even in some old parts of the code which you have made accessible and finished them long time ago, like 2 years ago, you see that even those parts are changed sometimes. So maintaining the code, let alone making the new features accessible and such, and fixing the bugs. So the thing is that it's really a huge work, a huge code base, huge change of the codes to maintain. So it will take some time, but we guarantee that the development is always active. We have introduced the beta channel so that users can get. So we, when we reach a little bit of confidence that this update is nearly ready, we push it to the beta channel so users can benefit from that earlier than the users of the production channel. We have made all these kind of things to at first to get the bugs from the public users, and also to make it to deliver the software to them as fast as we can, maybe a little bit faster than the production channel. So that's it. And it will take some time to reach the production channel. It will take some time for an update to reach the production channel. We cannot do much about it, but it's guaranteed that it will make its way. Yes, make its way to that level.
Great, thank you very much. But just I have one comment regarding the granularity issue, which is that Joshua screen reader users will not have this problem. It's just specific to TalkBack. Thank you.
So it's specific to TalkBack. In other, which other screen readers do not have this problem?
Joshua, the commentary screen reader or Joshua is working well. You know this Chinese one, which is popular currently?
Yes.
It works well with you can read. Yeah, you can read messages with the characters, words, and stuff. But only TalkBack is having this issue. I don't know why actually.
Okay, I'm just taking note of this, and users can also report it to us in comments in Google Play, and we'll look into it for next version if there's a problem with TalkBack.
Yes, I want to clarify. I'm talking about the official Telegram actually, not the telilite. I don't know about telilite, but we're talking about the official one.
It's the same question that your friend asked. So in Telegram, we have made it accessible. I'm remembering that I implemented this feature myself. We have in telilite, we have made it accessible to move by lines, words, etc. So just check it, and if it's maybe broken some parts in recent versions, we will fix it. Also, from the previous version on, we are also testing the commentary screen reader to some degrees. For example, it was not working in the our customized chat or customized messages menu was not working correctly with commentary. So we fixed that in our latest version, and for future versions we'll be also testing this screen reader and maybe other ones.
So in reality, basically what Karen was doing was she was taking a jab at me as a TalkBack user, saying, hey, that problem that I have wherein I cannot say Karen sends me a message, I cannot granularly read her message whether line by line, word by word, that this is possible with the native Telegram client with the confused screen reader, commentary screen reader. So that's what she was not talking about you, but she's taking a jab at me, and I get it.
So please, our listeners, please install commentary if you want to solve the problem, or telilite.
So I got that. I totally got it. Thank you so much. for your responses, and we are so thankful that you have made this app available. And now, if you're a TalkBack user like me and you want to be able to read those sent messages that you've received and be able to read those messages in a granular manner, then definitely you need to get telilite, and most especially if this thing is being given for up to 30 days free trial. As a listener to the podcast, just follow that information that we'll be putting in there in the show notes. Just go ahead and install that accessible Android app, and you will be good to go and be able to have access to telilite for 30 days. And that's a beautiful thing.
Can you just tell us some of the projects that Light on Development is doing in short, apart from telilite?
Okay, yes, that's also an interesting part. We were approached by telilite users like 2 or 3 years ago when we reached a great peak of users. We were approached by them asking if we do anything about accessible games, because they were really interested in playing accessible games, and by research we understood that there are literally none. Because there are very few for mobile platforms that literally there's no ecosystem there. So we were just thinking about it for a long time. It was 2020 that we decided to create a demo just to test just to test if the users are really pleased with these kind of things. We created a game called Accessible 3D Audio Maze Game, which is also of a same developer page. Users can download it from Google Play. It was nearly 2 years ago, 2020, that we made it as a beta game. Not even a beta, it was just a demo with one playable level, which users could test it and just comment that if they like it. We got really nice feedback, especially from some local users, like Spain. We get like 3,000 or 4,000 downloads from Spanish people, Spanish community of visually impaired, and they really liked the game. They made a lot of feedbacks, just asking for more levels. It was really interesting for us that they were satisfied by the quality. They were just asking, because as I said, literally there are no serious games for visually impaired users on Android. So a little bit of quality just satisfies them. It's really an interesting area of both technical work and both by the business perspective to approach. So we made an update and launched this game into first production version on October 2022, some months ago, actually. That's less than a year ago. And it was, again, very well satisfied the users. So other projects, so I'm saying this because I wanted to clarify that our main focus, because of our main focus in sighted part of the things is games. Currently, we are creating games for sighted people. We just wanted to take this opportunity for visually impaired users and move to this section of work. And possible future updates or new works, they will be probably, I cannot say for sure, but they will probably be in games section. So we are just welcoming any opinions, any designs, any ideas about which types of games we should make for visually impaired users. You can, users can reach out in other comment sections. The comment section of the accessible 3D audio maze game is actually a great place uh, to say your suggestions and ideas. We both get comments for this application and better attention from we get better attention from visually impaired users, and it helps the game to be seen, and also we get the idea and we can act on it. That's it.
Thank you so much for coming on today and talking about telilite, something we've been wanting to talk about, and most especially, we do have people on both our email and Telegram groups that actually use telilite and have been using that for quite a while now. And so great to finally get to talk to you. And besides the access to you guys via the app or via your contact on the Play Store page, is there another way that you would like people to get hold of you, or all this that we have already is sufficient? In other words, if someone wants to send you a question, they could just go to the Play Store, go to your web page there or your contact page there and click on that, expanding the contact section, and they could either send you an email and things like that. Is that the way that we say people should just go ahead and contact you? Should they have the need besides contacting you via the app?
Yes, we have other forms too. For doing any suggestions or reporting any issues on the applications or game that has been published on the Google Play, the best place is in comments, because we review all of them, we respond to all of them, and they're taken they're taken very seriously. They're entered into of a they enter a part of our workflow, and they go through reviews by our developers, our designers. But if any other kind of issue that's not that does not fit into that category, they can just contact us via our Twitter, which the link for is in our website. Also, we have a YouTube channel. It's the link is also on our website, telilite.me, telilite.me/en. And also they can contact us on Telegram by our support ID, which is telilite_support, @telilite_support. And also they can contact our telilite bot, which is specifically dedicated to the issues that users may have with purchasing telilite or for reporting bugs. The ID for the bot is @telilitebot, as a whole, no spaces. @telilitebot. That's it.
Thank you so much again for coming, and I am sure that we will have people subscribing to telilite. Most especially, people should take advantage of this and give it a try. Since you have 30 days to try it, I think it's a good gesture. And so if you're listening to us, take advantage of this and check out telilite. And we want you to say thanks to the other members of your team for working hard in making sure that we have an accessible Telegram client. We are so thankful.
Thank you to. I want to thank all the team members, especially Saleh, who introduced us to your podcast and introduced you to us. I just checked your YouTube, your podcast. They're all amazing. It seems that they will get more attention in the near future, hopefully. Thank you for having me, and I encourage all the users to take this opportunity and get the 1 month free subscription of telilite. Thanks.
Thank you.